Hello and welcome back to my channel, Mental Health with Melissa. If you're new here, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more content. I post new videos every single Sunday and Wednesday. Subscribing to my channel helps me get mental health information out there to our communities of color and tons of free Lcsw test prep for those of you that are interested in becoming LCSWs. And I have a new Lcsw study program called Social Work Study with Melissa. I will list the link down below in the description box. So if you are on this video, this is part 2 for the self-determination series. So make sure that you take a look at the part 1 video where I go into the details about self-determination. So you can always also just pause here, read this if you want to. Make sure that you check out this article here that I got this information from. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the test prep question. All right, so which of the following is not an example of self-determination? If you've watched my videos before, then you know that I recommend pausing, reading it, choosing an answer, and then comparing it to my answer to kind of check in with where you're at with your test taking skills. So let's take a look at this. Option A, a client with, so this is which of the following is not an example of self-determination. So this is letting us know that 3 of the options are going to be examples of self-determination and 1 is not. So let's take a look. Option A, a client with a history of drug dependence with capacity denies treatment. So like we talked about in the part 1 video, we do know that somebody that is deemed with decision-making capacity can make decisions for themselves. And we do have to, regardless of our own belief system, adhere to what they inherently want to do for themselves. So this would be an example of self-determination. So we would continue to work with this client, whether that mean harm reduction approach or continuing to work with them and starting with where they're at. So this would not be the answer. Option B, a client's right to make decisions regarding their health care and treatment. This is an example of self-determination because, again, we are supporting the client to make decisions about what they want to do with their treatment and their health care. Option C, a client who chooses to go home to hospice despite a doctor's opinion on continuing aggressive treatment. So this would be an example of self-determination because if hospice was an option, I mean, obviously you can't just go use hospice if you don't meet the criteria. So we're making the assumption that this client meets criteria for hospice. They choose to go home to hospice, even though a doctor may want to offer more aggressive treatment. We still want to adhere to what their self-determination is. This would be an example of self-determination. A client's right to physically abuse and punish their child due to cultural beliefs. So due to the process of elimination, we've already come to our answer. This is not an example of self-determination because we want to protect children, even if there are cultural beliefs that kind of adhere to physical punishment. We still would have to file the report, and we would not want to promote or to encourage the client to continue to physically abuse and hurt their child. So this is the answer. Out of all of the options, which of the following is not an example of self-determination? It is D, a client's right to physically abuse their child due to cultural beliefs. A client with a history of drug dependence with capacity denies treatment is an example of self-determination. A client's right to make decisions regarding health care and treatment is an example. And option C, a client who chooses to go home to hospice despite a doctor's opinion on continuing aggressive treatment is an example of self-determination. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave in the comment section below how you did on that question. And if you have any questions at all, leave them down below. Until next time, managing mental health matters.